back to my media blog. Today I'm going to be doing an analysis on the frat comedy film, or British comedy film, the Inbetweeners movie. This has elements like how it's shot, the comedy in it, and how the shots and jokes are delivered. I want to kind of not replicate this, but get inspiration from it, so I can put it into my frat comedy, which is kind of the same vein as this, known as Boy Kings. So as it starts, before we start, I need to speak about the quality. I know the quality isn't very good. This is because of it being uploaded in really, really poor quality. So I apologise for that, but I can still do the analysis with what I've got. And again, with the ident, it's just simple, basic. You can tell it's like low budget British because they haven't gone all out on the idents, and you can see it's like a budget British film because it's used the ident. Well, when I say that, I say to the Film 4 ident, which is a British publisher as well as a place where films are shown on TV on Channel 15. So this shows that this film is a British film because it uses that producer, well, not producer, like publisher, even like a book. This joke is kind of represents like how the characters are. This one is when Jay's mum says he's doing the CV, he's not actually. He's doing something really, really odd and probably sexual due to his character, because what he says next. Exactly. If this will be properly filthy, yeah. So you can get a feeling of what that character is, showing one of the character types in this film. So as the trailer progresses, we get introduced to the other two. One of them is an absolute loser who can't do anything right. He kind of relates to me in some sort of ways, and you can tell that all these characters are mates of how they are because they all hang around each other. But the one in the blue jumper, he's kind of seemed as the normal one. Like instantly, the trailer represents each character type and who they are. We've got the show off, which is on the far left, the middle one, which is the normal one in the blue jumper, the quite dull and thick one, because Howie in the first shot of the trailer, he's like, "Oh, you're right, yeah." It's just kind of a bit dim. This is the one in the blazer who's kind of forward with his representation of himself, gets wedged, which is kind of a naive, childish thing to do, but the person that does it is kind of like a chav, basically. Try not to kill anyone. That kind of relates because this is directly from a program. It kind of relates to that because all these characters got into trouble in one way or another. Like, for example, Will, the one in the blazer, poos himself, like shits himself basically. Can't really put that any other way. Basically, in an exam, so in an A-level exam as well. So when it so that's kind of in relation to the program, but what happens next is another joke. Actually, I was going to say something else, but this is even better. A joke about how in a relationship, the guy traditionally, stereotypically, doesn't want to do anything with of the feelings of the female partner. So this joke really lands well because of his character as well. He's kind of like pathetic in a way. So he's like, this is how it's shot as well, shot reverse shot. So it's like they're both in equal sorts of power because that's how a relationship should be. So it's kind of to show that this is more of a down-to-earth film rather than some sort of fantastic romance or some horror film. And what happens next is I find quite funny. He feels sorry for himself and just lying there crying. And then it relates right back into the film because of what happens next. Because at the end of doing your A-levels, you go on a mad lads holiday, like these four lads are doing here. He's just repeated the same thing. He basically just wants to have sex. So he's repeated the same thing over and over and over again, which is the joke. So it's kind of like repetition. And that long shot previously, which is quite quick. I've noticed something about this trailer. The shots are quite quick. So they're like bam, 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 bam. It doesn't. You process it, then it moves on to the next thing. Like with the with the long shot and the tilted upwards, showing that the building is massive. It's huge, and it's nothing like. Sorry about that. It's nothing like in the photos, like what the tall one says. And again, it comes with the quick and like quick shots, like one after another, after another, after another. And they're all amazed. They're all amazed. The Doom one and the like the show off one. I can't remember the names to save my life. I know I should have done that, but I remember Jay. I think that's all I remember, to be fair. But I think they gets mentioned in the trailer. They're quite amazed at what's happening, and they go into the club and something wonderful happens. The joke is because they don't realise, well, they didn't think he was capable of doing that. So when he did do that, they're kind of surprised. So that's another joke. Him being don't want to be sat with the fat one and is forced to while his mates are having a good time. This trailer like not rams in, but places the jokes one after another, so it keeps the audience laughing. So that's kind of what I want to do with mine. I don't want them to just be like like exposition for the thing to happen. So to get to the jokes, I just want it to be instant, like bam, 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 bam. So it would be more fun to film for me, and hopefully more film for the audience to watch, because you don't want them just sat there like quietly, awkwardly. It relates to the theme of sex, like through what Will just said. I think I'm remembering the names. I may be getting them wrong. I'm really sorry about that. So it kind of relates to that and the How the Lad's Holiday, and he's like, I've never, because he's like posh, kind of connotes is from wealth, even wealth compared to the others. So when he says that, it's kind of funny, because if you've seen the program, which kind of relates into that, is that he's not the most confident person. Which kind of, so it's like I keep saying, it keeps like pounding the pounding the audience with jokes, so it keeps them on their toes and laughing. And then the voiceover is a cliche, which is used really good into this film, because or the film trailer, as it shows that it's basically using it as a mockery. So it's like, oh yeah, in a world, it's like that. So when they do use that, it's like to show that they're taking the piss. They're just joking about. So like, and that relates to the entirety of the film. So everything in this trailer links in itself. So it's really like meta and layers upon layers, like an onion, basically. That's another sex joke with the pussy, but it's just kind of like reinforcement of what the voiceover man said, a tale about friendship, or a story about friendship. That joke is about, because you can't really see him everywhere, and he's kind of lacking knowledge. That's this next scene is a direct like parallel with what he just said. You can't be too drunk on holiday. Nah, he's just been found sleeping on an ant's nest. So like what I keep saying, it's like that thing of layer after layer after layer, like interweaving and comedy after comedy after comedy after comedy after joke after joke after joke. So it keeps the audience listening. A joke about him not seeing without his glasses. So that's kind of funny actually. He can't see, so it's just literally can't do what he wants to do. Then and so I hope you have enjoyed my little ramblings about this trailer, like with giving my little bit of analysis, kind of because this is the direction I want to go. I don't want to be like a super serious film. I want to kind of be like a fun, light-hearted film. So it's fun for me to for film, and fun for the audience to watch, and like my target audience of people my age, 17 to 18, which kind of relates into how old these people are. Well, how old they're supposed to be anyway. The characters of them doing their A levels. So when I start to film it, I want to have a sense of that, like our age group. I know it's like a really really bad stereotype. I know examiners don't really like using like sixth formers running around, but I think that like how the Inbetweeners and how I hope Boy Kings will turn out. I hope that's what I'm aiming for, not like loads of sixth formers running around, because I want to play to that like idea strength, not its weakness. So I hope you have enjoyed this analysis of the Inbetweeners trailer. I've kind of enjoyed rambling to you. I'm sorry if I like hiccup and like stop randomly. So I hope you've enjoyed it. See you in the next one.